Hello fashion people. So we're going to be looking at the cutting and the sewing part of this video. For the pattern drafting part, I'll link it in the description box as well as the comment section. That's the video before this. So do well to check it out. Also remember that for this dress, I didn't reduce my waist circumference. That means I didn't snatch the waist. So you can reduce your waist circumference by 2 or 3 inches and have it couturied, and I didn't bone it. But the style line remains the
For
same.
this front neckline, I'll be cutting it this way. After which I'm going to join adding a seam allowance here and seam allowance here. So I'll be cutting it through this way. This is it. So I'm adding the necessary seam allowances to this now. So this is going to be the sewing proper. I'm gonna head to cut out my fabric. Like I'm using a golden color fabric for the upper part. So this is the right. So I went ahead to add half inches this way, half inches here, and then on this side I added 1.5 inches for this side. And what we thought works for you. For me, I added 1.5 inches here. Here is half, here is half, here is also half. And then for the center, I added half inches all the way through. And for the side as well, I added half inches here, half of an inch, half of an inch, and this side I added 1.5 inches for the side. So this is it. And for the upper part, that's the African print design. I cut it through here and I added half inches all the way. This is how it is. The half inches all the way, all around. So I'll just make a mark here to indicate here is up. That's the shoulder area, and here is down. Here is down. And here's my armhole side. I'll just write AWL, indicating my armhole, so that when I take out the paper I won't be confused. This is how it is. And I went ahead to cut out a breast pad and the lining for it. I do the same thing here. I'm doubling the breast pad because it's a lightweight breast, a wadding, so I made it double. And this as well. This is for the sides, this is for the front, and this is for the back. I've cut the back, so this is the back area. This 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and all around here it's now half of an inch, half of an inch this way too. So I'll be altering my neck design later, this which is what I drew here. So when I open it up, I'll be cutting out this design for the other one. I'm going to do that later, and I'm going to show you. I also cut out a lining piece for it as well. And for the lower bodies, this is what we have for the lower bodies. So I'll just take this to one side so that we can see what I'm doing. So this is for the front part. I saw I placed on my fabric. This is the right part of the right side of my African print, and I just placed it on it like this. And I went ahead to cut it, add the necessary allowances, half inches, half of an inch on the waist area, 1.5 inches by the sides, 1.5 inches by the side, and here I completed it to the full length. So I completed just the same, is the same thing, just exact measurement you have from here to here. You just take it down from here to here, and that's it. Just a straight line from here downwards, and just completed the length. And I added 1.5 inches for hemming or turning the lower part of it. And this is it. So 1.5 inches by the side, 1.5 inches by the sides, and 1.5 inches below. So this is all for the front. And I added an interfacing here. I wanted to show you. I added an interfacing to it. I used the gummy interfacing for that, and I did the same thing for the upper part too. The upper part I showed you, like the upper toes, while cutting that, I added an interfacing to it as well. So this is it, and this is for the back. You see the back, just as I did for the front, I completed the length as well. I completed the length at two and I added 1.5 inches at the hem, 1.5 inches on the two sides. This is the center back. This way the zipper is going to be, and this is the side back. And up here at the waist area is just half of an inch, and that is it. So it's unfold. I cut to unfold because the back, yeah, this for the back, and that's all we have for the cutting. Now I'm going to go to the sewing proper. I'm going to go. So now I'm going to be joining the pieces together. I'm going to be sewing them half of an inch by the size, and I'm going to be joining the wording to the lining piece. So the wording is going to go to the lining while I join the main fabric separately. So I'll do that and I'll show you what I have. Our neck area, this is our neckline. So I'm going to sew here together. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to join it by half of an inch because that's the allowance I left there. I'm going to sew it like this. I'll repeat the same thing for the lining part. I'll repeat the same thing, and then I will be joining this to the main fabric just like so, to have our neck curve joined. So I'm going to place this like this, and I'm going to also sew this to this by half of an inch, but that is after I've joined this to it. Hope you're following. So this is it. So if I watch up to this point, please do it to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ask your question in the comment section if you have any. So this is what I have. I've gone ahead to sew this place as I stated earlier by half of an inch, as you can see, and I also joined this piece to the neckline to form this Ankara African print plus English material. So I joined it by half of an inch as well. So this is the main front. So now after joining it, I'm going to be trimming this very close to my initial stitch, so that when I press it down, the it's going to lie very flat. It won't be bulky around that area. So I'll just trace it. So just cut it out like this. You can decide to trim it out as I'm doing, or you can just give it a notch all around this area because it's curvy. It's not straight, and you need it to lay flat after sewing. You get, so that's the essence of this. So for me, I'm deciding to trim it out. You can give it a notch and iron it. That's also fine. So I've cut it out. I've traced it out. So, and it's looking less bulky. And also this is the lining piece. I've also done that to lining piece, you can see, and I also trace it out. So I'm going to give it a good press, and we will continue without sewing. Or I can decide to just turn the neckline at once, so that when I get to my pressing table, I'll press everything at once. So I'll be turning the neckline by half of an inch this way, and I will notch it here very well, like very close to the stitch, like this place that is V. I'm going to notch it very well, and I'll show you what I have. This is how beautiful it's looking. You can see I've already pressed it down, and I have turned it with my lining. This is my lining piece. So how beautiful it's looking. This is the lining area. This is my interwarding. I put a hemming gum and I press it down to be one piece. And this is it. You can also put a hemming gum at your shoulder area, like this place, this neckline, and press it down as I did. Although I top stitched it, so without putting hemming gum, it still be shiftless because I top stitched it. So this is how beautiful it's looking. So next we're going to be working on our back piece. This is our back piece. I'm going to be working on the back upper bodies, and remember that I'm going to be altering one part of it, one part of the neckline, like one side to equate this side. You get. Hope you remember from our cutting video. I said I'm going to be doing that, altering the neckline when I'm about to sew. So I'll be doing that right away. So I'll open it up, and if you look at this pattern, this is where it is. So I marked it on the pattern, but I didn't cut it through. because one piece is going to be exactly this, and the other side of the back is going to be this neckline, just slanted like this. And I'll be showing you what I have. This is the back piece. I've taken out the paper and I've opened it up like this. So this is the back piece. So one side is going to be like this. Okay, it's going to go the way this way, and this side is going to be this way, right sides facing each other. For this neck area here, it's matched. You get. Okay, I'm going to be altering this neck area. This is the part I'm going to be altering. And for this other side, this side is okay. This one is perfect. This is the side I'm going to be altering. So I can decide to alter it like this, like just make sure the tips are equal, and I will trace this out, but with additional half of an inch for tying the neckline. I will just blend this out this way, or I can get my pattern. I can use my pattern and cut this out and blend it in just like so. You get. Although I will trace this on this, so I'll just mark where this started. I'll just mark it like this. Hope you can see it. I'm just making it to be light, and then I'm going to add half of an inch to this. I'm going to extend it outward by an extra half of an inch for my sewing allowance to join the neck piece. So this is it. I'm going to, from where I marked, I'm going to extend this by half of an inch extra, and I'm now going to blend it to the neckline. So I'm going to be cutting this out. Hope you can see it. You know, this is, I'm not trying to, this is a big chalk here though. I'm still trying to make it to be neat so I can easily clean it off. So this is how it looks like in the front. So just mark the exact and then add half of an inch and trim it out this way. So that is it for this side, and then this side still remains the same. I'm going to be tracing it out also on the lining piece, and I'll be turning my neck area by half of an inch. Also turn it to this one too, and I'll be right back. So this is what I have. I have sewn the neck area of the two back piece, and I also top stitched them, as you can see. So this is how it's taken, and this is the front. But before I'll go ahead to join them by the shoulder, I would like to prep the lower part of this gown, which is the skirt part. So this is the front part. This is this is the front part. I'll opening it up, and I also went ahead to cut out the lining piece for it. So this is the lining piece. The difference between this is that at the lower part, the lower part I added 1.5 inches for hemming the lower part, but for the lining piece I just added half of an inch. That means I trimmed out 1 inch from this. So I'll be using it to cut this lower part, and this is for the front. So now I'm going to go ahead and place it right side facing each other at the hem area, which is going to be this way. So this is the hem area. I will just place this right side facing each other like this, and I'm going to be sewing it all the way by half of an inch because I want to turn the lower down of this gown. And this is for the back. So this is the back piece. This is what I'm trying to say. You can see the lower back is short of 1 inch. That means I just added only half of an inch to the full length, which is this line. Added 1 inch to this line. This one is 1.5 inch, but this one is just half of an inch. That means I trimmed out 1 inch. That's for hemming the lower part. I'm going to also place this one right side facing each other. I'm going to sew the hem by half of an inch because I need to turn it over, and then I'll be right back. So to show you how I'm going to present this up like this, I'm using the back piece as an example. This is the right side and this is the wrong side, and this is the right side of the ankara piece and this is the wrong side. So it's like right side facing each other, and as you can see from the lining is shorter by 1 inch. So I want to turn this lower plate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this line more downward. I'll pull it to align with the African print. To align this way, and I'll be sewing down by half of an inch. After sewing that by half of an inch, I'm going to be pulling it up. So I'm going to show you how to pull it up. Let me just sew it down first, and I'll show you how to pull it up to have a more beautiful outlook there. This is what I mean. I've sewn it down by half of an inch, as you can see. So what next I'm going to do is I'm going to, this place that is 1.5 inches, I notched it at the end. This makes it more easier for me. So I notched it on the two ends. So I'm just going to pick it up this time. This see, I'm not picking up the lining. I left the lining. I'm only picking the main African print. I'll just pick it up this way, and this is it. So when I turn it this way, I'm going to be hemming, like I'm going to be sewing down this way. If I wanted to have a neat finish, I'm just going to sew it down this way. Or if I don't want to go through the whole process of turning the African print with my lining piece, I might decide to use my scissor machine to weave the weave the rough edge, or I can just take it over to the right side this way, still pick it up and sew it down. So if you're sewing it down like this on the wrong part, that means after you're going to be turning it all over. You get, that's the normal way we do our side seams. Or you can just, if you're using a scissor machine like I am, I'll be using a scissor machine for it. So I'll just turn it over to the right side, picking up this. I'm just going to stack it this way, and also tack this other end. So I'm just going to tack it down. I've already done this for the other side, so this is what I have after I'm done sewing for the other part side of the back piece. So this is what I have. So now I'm going to repeat the same thing for this other piece, and you go over to attaching the whole upper body to the lower body to have our gown. Back to this upper piece, I'm going to be placing the right sides facing each other, the right side of the back piece and the right piece facing each other, and I'm going to be attaching their necklines together. But to do that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lift up the lining piece of the back. This is the back piece. So this is the front piece, as you can see. So I'm going to lift up the shoulder this way, and I'm going to align it. So I left out my lining. If I align it very well, then I'm going to be getting my pin. So I'll get my pin. I'll hold this down after I'm done aligning the shoulder. Then I'll take this lining to the back. This is to give the shoulder a neat finishing. So I'm going to take the shoulder to the back, and I'll be sewing it by half of an inch. I'll be sewing it down this way, and I'll be repeating the same thing for this other shoulder as well. So this is it. I'll join the shoulder area, and this is how it looks. See, it's neat. So that is how it's looking. This is this for this second shoulder. That is it. So now I'm going to be attaching the lower parts to the upper parts now. So this is our front. I'm going to shift the lining piece to one side, and I'll be joining the African point to it first. So I'm going to flip this to the wrong side, and I'm going to be sewing it right sides facing each other. So with my pin, I'll start tacking it down. I'll tack from this end to the middle and so, and then I'll continue from the other end. So that is it. So this is it. I'll sew it down on one side. So I'm going to complete this other side. So over to the wrong side again. So I'll turn it over to the wrong side. Remember, I'm only sewing the African print to the upper bodies, which I'm going to be using my lining to cover up the rough edge at the waist area. So that's why I kept the line on one side. So now I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue to tape it down, but this time let's start from this edge. Let's start from here. This is what I have after I was done sewing it. So if you know that you don't have difficulty sewing this place, what you're going to do is that when cutting your fabric, make sure that here is straight, like it didn't go deep. If it's not as curvy as this, because the more curvier it is, the more difficult it will be to join it at this point. You get, you can just make it to be straight, like you can make it to be straight, but the deeper the curve, the more difficult you encounter while joining it here. So just work with what you know that you can work with. So over to the back. So I'm gonna head to give it a notch. I notched it very well so that it can have ease to relax very well. Lining piece. So I'm meant to be covering up this rough edge with our lining. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to fold it in this way. And this is the just picked up the shoulder area, and I will pick up the lining area. This is lining. I'm going to pick up the lining at the waist area, and I'm going to be aligning it to the waist area of this. So it's going to be this way. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So the this thing, the upper body is now is in between this African print of the skirt part and the lining part. You can see that the upper part is inside it, and then I'm going to be matching up the waist area this way, and I'll be sewing it down. So I'm going to be sewing it close to this my initial stitch, or on this initial stitch, and I'm going to be showing you what I have after I'm done sewing them. This is the wrong side. Also join the line. You can see how I covered the waist area. I was able to cover the waist area of this rough with the lining. So I'm going to go over to the back, and I'll be joining the lower part of the back, and I'll be turning the waist area with the lining just as we did for the front as well. This is how the two waist area of the back is. So I'm gonna have to also sew it and turn it with the line. This is the right side, and this is for the other side. This is the lining piece area. So this is the right side. So now our gown is almost ready. So the next thing now is that I'm going to be measuring my armhole. So I'm going to be measuring this armhole from here to this side, and I'll be cutting my sleeves. So after I'm done attaching my sleeves, I'll now shape the sides and attach my zipper. So that's it. So the gown is coming together. It's almost ready. That's how beautiful it's looking already. So I'm going to measure the sleeve armhole, and I'm using that measurement to cut out my sleeve. So this is what we have. I've gone ahead to attach my sleeve. You can see it's a normal sleeve, and I did the mouth just as we did the hem. I put it in by 1 inch. This is the wrong side, and this is for the other side too. And then I shaped, after attaching the sleeves, I shaped the side by 1.5 inches, which is the inches we left while doing our cotton. And this is the back. I've also gone ahead to attach my zipper. And this is how beautiful it came out to be. While sewing is make sure that these lines are aligned. That should be the basic thing you should look out for too. And also by the sides too, that they match up. See the lining, the print, African print matched to the African print this side as well as this side. African print to African print. They are aligned very well. That's because we took note of that while cutting it. And for the inside, I've also gone ahead to weave the inside so it's not looking neat. That's how neat it is. This is the wrong side. Wrong side is not looking all neat and beautiful. So that is it for this class. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn notification bell, set it to all to get notifications whenever I upload new videos, and let me know your questions in the comment section. I will dare to attend to you. You see more beautiful designs on this channel, and until then I'll be seeing you in my next tutorial. Bye bye. Remain blessed.